Hi everyone, Carolyn here. Welcome back to Encounter Encouragement. I want to talk about something that a friend of mine mentioned the other day. The word that she used that caught my attention was the word comparathon. And I thought to myself, that's a really perfect term for the way a lot of people live their lives these days. Comparing ourselves to others seems to be a natural thing to do. And yes, it can be good if it's used motivationally, such as, well, I know they went through in their family, they went through a loss of a job. And if they can get through that, I know I can get through what I'm going through right now. So I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to get through it because I know it can be done. I've seen it done in worse circumstances. I've got this. I can do it. But it can also be very, very harmful. So I'm going to talk about ways that we compare ourselves to others. The first way that I'm going to talk about is lifestyle. We compare our finances, the toys we have, the cars we have, the electronics we have, the type of house we have. We compare our jobs. We also compare our household. How many kids, the hobbies that we have, the chores that we are expected to do within our family, the activities that we participate in. What kind of activities do we put our kids in school? Are they all in soccer? Are they in theater? Are they in band? Are they in baseball? Are they in every activity that there is available? We also compare how we shop. So you see me going out buying this, that, and the other. I'm out at the store every week and I've got the best, brands of this, that, and the other. And you compare how that is with what you have. Another way that we compare ourselves is in our spirituality or our religious activities. So we look at the church that we attend. How big is your church? What's the size and attendance of yours? What denomination is it? How prestigious is it? We look at the programs or the groups or the Bible studies or the children's ministry or the worship team. What activities do we perform and, enter into in our church? We also look at how much do we give? Do we tithe? Do we go above that? And we compare. My dad was really good at that with his brother. He kind of knew how much his brother gave, and he always wanted to outdo his brother. It was a big deal for my dad, a source of pride. If he could get his name first on the list of donors. A third way we compare ourselves is at our jobs. What is the prestige of the job that I have versus what you have? What is the power of influence that said job provides? What is the income? What are the benefits? We compare ourselves in so many ways. And, to some degree, that is normal. But how is it that it can be so harmful? Well, the biggest way that it's harmful is that my means are not the same as your means. So I have to live the life that I have based on the means that I have. What you have and what I have causes for an unequal comparison. It doesn't match up. One of us is above or below in different categories. So it's not an not equal comparison. Having these comparisons allows for unfair expectations. If my salary isn't the same as your salary, and you are having all your kids in soccer, and I can't even afford to have my kid in choir, then that's a big unfair comparison. It causes hurt feelings, and it's just an unrealistic expectation. We can't keep up with the Joneses all the time. So we look at the different talents, the desires, the abilities and expectations that our family has for us, and we realize it's different. I live in an apartment. You live in a 4-bedroom house. I work from home. You drive 30 minutes to work. I'm a blue-collar worker. You're a white-collar worker. I make this much. You make that much. I go to this church. You go to that church. I shop at this store. You shop at that store. I buy this brand. You buy this brand. Vice versa. All the way through, we're back and forth in that comparison. It can be very hurtful to try to live up to the expectations of someone else when you're on a budget that's, barely visible down here. So, what can you do about this? There is one thing to compare to that we should all choose to compare ourselves to, and that is, how does what I am doing with what I am given compare to what I could do with what I am given? What are the possibilities within the boundaries that I have that make me rise to the occasion? What are the limits that I could fulfill within this boundary? Now, your boundary is over here. You have to work within that said boundary, and you have to do the best you can within that. I have to do the best that I can within this boundary. So comparing this to this is not realistic, it's not fair, and it can cause serious damage to a person mentally. If I compare myself within these boundaries to what is the potential within these boundaries, I have the ability to motivate myself to do what I can with what I'm given. We should never compare ourselves to someone else and expect to do everything that they can do, because we are not in their shoes. Just like in my household, growing up, there were 10 kids and 2 parents. My oldest brother and me, there are 6 children in between us. So he's number 1, I'm number 8. There's still 2 behind me. But even in that same household, he grew up in a different family than I did. He grew up in a family with 9 younger siblings. I grew up in a family with 2 younger siblings and 7 older siblings. So even then, within the same family, we can't compare equally and fairly. He's a boy, I'm a girl. He was 12 years older than me. I'm 12 years younger than him. Things that were allowed in his time weren't allowed in my time, and vice versa. They had things in my time that they didn't have in his time. We have to learn to compare within what we are given. That's the only way that we should do a comparathon. So, I'm hoping that maybe some of you will see yourself in a different light now, and that you will choose to let go of some of the comparisons, unrealistic expectations that you are holding for yourself, holding yourself to a standard of another family that isn't you. Compare yourself to what you are able with what you are given. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you see things the same way that I do. Curious to hear your comments. I look forward to seeing you again soon. And until then, be blessed, everyone. Thanks, y'all.